You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ Envy, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building, and there's only one way to introduce you.
Oh, don't do it,
What's
Envy.
my favorite? Come on, come on. Steve
What
the white
do you
guy.
call DJ Envy?
Shut up. What's my favorite word?
He doesn't do that anymore.
Say bitch.
Yeah.
There you go.
got
All
it.
right.
We're not going to force him.
Welcome, sir.
What's up?
How's everything?
Man, it's good. Everything's good except football.
Who's your team?
Who's our team?
What?
You the Giants.
I'm a Giants fan.
I remember seeing you when y'all was winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I'm a Raider fan. It's ugly.
Oh, yes, it's nasty.
It's ugly.
It's
So
disgusting.
everything's good except football.
Yeah.
You never stop watching football? Like, I'm not watching this.
Well, when your team is your team, it's in the blood. So I mean, I don't quit, but at the same time,
When y'all losing, you might as well stop watching. Like, forget it.
I'm a football fan. I'm not, I'm Raider Nation, but I'm a football fan.
Now, what do you do now that the Raiders are moving to Vegas?
We'll be in Vegas.
Are you still
Damn.
going?
I mean, come on, now, just think about it. Raider weekend in Vegas. It's probably, at the way it's looking now, just the weekend events are going to be better than the game. So we're there.
I mean, the new arena, the space that they're putting in looks amazing.
I rode by the other
right
day.
Off the strip.
Yeah, it's all good, But hey, it's football, man.
It is
Envy
football.
tried to get you started off saying bitch and all of that already. Sheesh, Envy.
What?
You know we're in a politically correct climate right now.
That's a classic, though. You can say
You just
this with
said
that
it.
song. Yeah.
I can say it.
Okay.
You can't say it.
I have not said it in 48 hours
48 hours.
since Saturday night.
The white guy that was just here, he was like, yeah, Toohort has a brand new single that's really, I heard it's really hot. It's called Blow Your Whistle. It was like
Brand new
It was
single.
like brand new single. He's like, yeah, they
Who
said it's a
said
brand.
that?
That's what Steve said. He was like, it's a brand new single. I said, oh.
Just released 12 years ago.
But the Pimp tape, now it's been taking a while for this to come out.
Yeah. Well, you know what the deal is. I'm 52. I went to the studio. I probably made 52 songs. I made a lot of songs. Just a lot of songs. You just want to put out something good. But I think bigger than just putting out an album is just the notion of the OGs making music. Because in this industry, we got this little misperception about, the value of our young artists, the longevity of our older artists. Like a lot of older artists are eating and making money.
Right.
A lot of young artists are eating and making money. What is I don't get the clash of an industry that provides us all with, these jobs. We can feed our homies and stuff. And why are we mad at each other? I don't get it.
You think the younger artists should still be paying homage to the older generation?
As I was coming up, I did. We got this thing called hip hop culture, whatever you want to call it, as far as how we upholding it. But where it goes to, we gave it to them. We're giving it to them, and we gotta just keep, just tell them like it's the culture. It's the culture. You're supposed to get your money. You're supposed to be famous. You're supposed to have fun. But at the same time, it's the culture. You got to give it to somebody else. So if you're gonna, not keep up the culture, you know what I'm saying? What are you gonna hand down? So it's a business, and people are getting money, but at the same time, we got to preach all our own values of what we think it should be. I feel like get your money, man, but at the same time, understand that I'm an OG getting money.
Right.
You still enjoy it? You still enjoy making music?
That is the reason why I'm doing it. The studio process, the getting on the stage part, it's all fun, man. I only dislike one part of being Toohort, and that's airplanes.
You still don't like to fly?
I don't mind flying. It's just like, you just, after a while of flying to so many shows, you like, it just like, man, why can't you just drop the audience off in my backyard?
Oh, come on now. But what's your favorite city to go to?
I like the fun cities, of course. The Miamis and Vegases and Atlantas and New York's, the fun places.
Okay.
But I also get a special feeling when I go to little towns that they say stuff like, nobody ever comes here.
Oh, that's the best time because they really like to party.
Yeah, you end up in
hype.
somebody's living room eating dinner or something. It's like,
You're like a TMZ favorite also.
Over the years.
How did that happen? Like, TMZ always catches up with Toohort.
Somewhere.
People don't know what TMZ stands for.
30 Mile Zone.
I'm glad somebody knows. So I'm always in the damn 30 mile zone.
Right.
So I was bait for years and years. The 30 mile zone is expanded now. If they're following people all over the place with cameras and phones or whatever. But I was in the zone for a long time. So
You do some funny stuff, man.
I mean, they get the best footage at like 2:30 in the morning. Clubs close in LA at 2:30, and here I come.
Right.
Ready for it. But
Running,
but
falling.
that's the best publicity I ever got in my life was from TMZ. What you talking about? Free publicity it is.
People have an issue, though, sometimes with TMZ because they say they don't portray black people in the most positive light. It's only when something bad is happening that they post.
I feel that way about kind of the big picture of media. Like we love the bad story in the media, don't we?
It sells.
Yeah, and
people like to hear.
You know, once something bad happens to you in the media, you immediately start doing all these counter things, these great things that people will talk good about you, and none of that.
It never works. Never works.
No one picks it up.
Never works.
So I've tried.
Well, you were being sued at one point, and it seemed like that case was dropped.
Well, the lawsuits go on. They last for years and years. But,
lawsuits go on.
But, you know, it's the wordplay, man. The wordplay is incredible. I've never gotten into, like, criminal trouble in terms of, you know, like the lawsuit stuff. Mm-hmm. But it gets a lot of, you know, somebody sue you or somebody just says you did something, it just gets a lot of press, man. And you never get to counter it. So I kind of embrace my bad guy image. I don't like it.
Some things you don't want, though. Like,
I know, I don't like it, but at the same time.
You don't want somebody to say Too Short sexually assaulted someone.
But you can't fight the media either. I can't fight you and tell you the truth. I can't tell you that was an Instagram post and not an LAPD post. You know what I mean? There's a big difference. So you gotta just
fight the media right now. Tell us what happened.
What happened back then? Oh, well, you know, I had a friend who I was working on some music with.
She was signed to you?
Not signed to me, but it was a consideration of maybe like bringing her into the organization, and you know, because she was a young hustler, good music, I liked it, and at some point we didn't really the behavior kind of like, you know, like somebody's coming around you like, oh man, it's a person ain't cool for the environment, like, you know, just come around with a little bit of weirdness, you know. And we decided you know, it's not cool to come around anymore, and that right there, you know, the whole scoring factor and the whole it was just one day just came out on Instagram.
So there was no relationship ever?
No, this wasn't a relationship. There was a friendship, and there was a work about to be done. A little bit of work had been done. We even shot a video.
Right.
And
then she accused you of basically assaulting her.
And it was kind of funny because the first time it came out, it was that he did something to me. And it was all Instagram, and it was never like anything other than Instagram posts. And then when the story got picked up by TMZ, they were like, it was an investigation. But that I never got a phone call, I never got a visit, I never got anything. I even have family that works in the system, you know, the judicial system. So I called and said, hey, is my name involved in something? They're like, nah, we don't see it on this end. So after a while, it became a lawsuit. It was never a criminal issue. It became a lawsuit. And then when the lawsuit came out, that's really, like, people don't even know what the lawsuit says. Like, it's like I was in the media, it was like, oh, this happened one time. In the lawsuit, it was like it happened like 5 or 6 times.
Numerous times.
At different locations and like repeatedly, like pick you up, take you to somewhere and assault you. Do it again and assault you. And like over and over again, I'm like, it didn't even happen once, let alone 5 locations, 5, 6 times. So far I've spent, I just made another payment. So I spent, I think like $40,000 on lawyers.
Sheesh.
So that's all, it's just cost me.
Right.
Lawyers so far.
All right, so this lawsuit is still ongoing though. It's not.
It's 2 lawsuits.
2 lawsuits.
So it's criminal and
no, it's her suing me and me suing her.
Oh, you
so
suing
now
her?
there's a counter.
You countersue.
Yeah, I had to.
Damn.
Because when the some of the media stories that came out were like really detailing things that happened. Some of them were just saying.
So it's defamation on your part.
Oh, definitely, like definitely. When you start going detail, like you did this, and that to me, and stuff didn't happen. So.
But in a case like that, you're suing her. Like, does she have money? Can you get money from her? Like, how does that work? Or is it just like you just wasting your money?
All I get is maybe a paragraph in somewhere that. That's all. Just proof, man. It really boils down to business deals.
Right.
And people you do business with want to know first and foremost that you're standing up to these accusations, and secondly, they want to know the outcome of them. So
has it affected your business?
I probably missed a few $100,000, like, you know, just people saying we don't want to do business with you because of that, but not. I think in some people's cases they're losing millions.
Right.
So integrity, you know, relationships, and you know things get me through the game as far as that. But you take a blow, and you know the phone, the rings get a little shorter for a little while.
Gotcha.
You know.
You think people were more apt to believe that just because they look at Too Short and they're like, oh, Pimp, and the way he talks about women, so he probably did do something?
I kind of got the opposite effect. That people were like, that's Too Short. He got all the women in the world.
Why would he have to do that?
And it's kind of true, but it's like I've spent a lifetime being around women, being in party atmospheres, and being in, you know, questionable scenarios where, you know, I'm looking at people going, so-and-so's not in control. Maybe I should get away and stuff. But, you know, at the same time, it's kind of, it goes with the territory, you know? Like, I've seen a picture of me with, you know, the homegirls late at night, and they take a picture of me while I done fell asleep in the chair, and they like smiling around me. Like, you know, like the phone game changed everything.
Right.
Where
you can't fall asleep
you
like
and
that.
you finally get to the place where you're like, we're comfortable. It's us. But somebody's in the room like, nah, it ain't us, man. It's y'all.
Right.
And they got the phone. They doing you like
Watching
this.
that, right? Yeah.
You know, so now you heard about the young homies. You signing NDAs at the door.
So, but there is no criminal case.
I've never had a criminal case.
So no criminal case. This
Of
is all
nothing
civil.
of the such.
Gotcha.
Only cases I ever had was DUIs,
Yeah,
a couple
we
of
said
pistols back in the day, but none of that. None of that.
Do you
That's
think the
deep.
music that you did before could live now with everybody talking about the Me Too movement and, you know, women's rights?
I think that some of us older artists would be challenged in a social media environment.
Mm-hmm.
Like what our images and what we were doing in our day-to-day lives could have been, you know, perceived a different way in social media. But I also feel like, as in athletes, when we talk different eras, you're like, I'm feeling like you're athletic. No matter what era we drop you off in, you're going to adjust to that era. So I
Correct.
think I would have thrived in a social media environment. I just couldn't have been the Too Short that I was back then, because social media would have, like, when I'm on downtime, like some of the stuff that I said and doing and kicking and stuff, like it wouldn't play back really good.
Right.
But that was that era.
That's interesting, because when Snoop was up here, he said something similar, and then Luke was up here talking about working on his movie and kind of thinking about stuff that really happened. You want to portray things the way they happen, but then people are like, oh my God, I can't believe he did this, he said this. Like a Too Short movie, I'm sure. How would you have
that'd
to
be a
go
lot
about
that
something
you-
like that?
But you got to be truthful, though. So it's
Yeah, I mean, I want to see that. What's the movie that just came out on HBO? Something with the little dude from Fantasy Island. I seen the previews.
Oh, I didn't see it.
The dude that played Tattoo
Yeah.
the plane.
the plane.
They got a movie about him. He's in the previews. He's wilding.
Really?
Like he's just having a wild night in Hollywood. So, you know, if he could wild out, I could wild out. We all got our
You know, I never looked at you as really wild, because every time I seen you out or been
very
around
conservative.
you are very conservative, and it's so different than people.
it comes out in the right environment, or like, you know, like you get home or something. I got my wild side,
Right.
but I'm always conscious of my surroundings. Even the night I ran from the police. Do you know where I was going?
Where were you going?
A half a block up the street to where I lived, and I was actually gonna. I was not.
Explain to the people, because people don't know what happened.
I blew a .08. That's the limit. That's like the
You're right
the
there.
minimum.
Right.
So I was telling the dude, I'm like, dude, I'm not drunk. I'm trying to be a gentleman. And instead of having these young ladies who I met at the club, which is 2 blocks from my house, a block and a half, it was Supper Club, and I lived on Yucca Street, right behind the club. They left their car at the club. So I'm like, I'm going to be a gentleman and not make you walk back, because we walked to my house. So I just gave him a little 1 block ride, and I was doing a little 3-point turn to go back, and he's like, you made an illegal U-turn. So I did everything he wanted. I'm like, man, I'm not drunk, bro. I'm cool. I'm like, I'm pointing to the building. I'm going right there. He's like, no, you got to blow. I'm like, come on, man, not
Blow
to
the
blow.
whistle. Yeah.
No, you have to blow into the breathalyzer.
Come on, stop doing that, Too Short. That just look crazy. All right, go ahead.
So, you funny.
She's stupid. Go ahead.
You always funny. So, I gave the guy, he gave me my option, and I asked him one last time. I said, are those my only options?
And what was that? Go to jail?
The
Or
last
blow.
option is to run.
Pause.
And I'm like, I'm going home.
You just said I'm going home just like that?
And it took like 5 seconds to realize. On that
Not a
day,
good idea.
On that day, I was 46 years old, and I had on some low cut Converse without the ankle, no nothing. I ran right out the shoe, ran out. I just. And he said to me, why did you run? I was trying to go home. I was like, serious, man. I was trying to go home.
Did they tackle you?
I fell.
They didn't have to. I don't know if you saw the footage,
I didn't.
but it was
I
a
fell, bro.
terrible run.
We had a bet one night. They were like, he fell on the first step. I was like, nah, I probably got about 4 or 5. And they're like, nah, I want some money on that, but still.
Well, you could definitely play for the Giants with that.
Hey, watch your mouth.
But let me tell you something.
Barkley's nice.
Let me tell you something I'm not proud of saying. That's the only time I got caught. So
So what's bottom of the
Nobody filmed the other ones.
Right.
Bottom line is don't wear low cut Converse.
Yeah,
when you do it.
nobody filmed me when I was like, making it home.
Right.
I can name you some stories, but I don't,
We have time. Go ahead.
Hmm?
We want to hear these stories.
Ah, man. Well, I guess it's been enough years to tell.
Yeah, go ahead.
You want to hear about the time I got away?
Yeah.
Yes.
Tell us about that. Statute of limitations is over.
The time I got away, okay. I'll give you a good one. Miami Beach, downtown area, hotel rooms in South Beach.
Mm-hmm.
The after hours is downtown. Come out the club, me and my chick. We shouldn't have been driving. I've learned my lesson since then.
Is this your chick or?
This is my ride or die at the time, yeah. So we riding, and we see the freeway, and we're not about to make it to the on-ramp. And I'm like, I'm doing it anyway. Bow, sideswipe a taxi cab. And literally, my car, I knocked the front end off my car. I was in a Lincoln rent-a-car. Mm-hmm. And I did some good damage to him, too. So I get out, and he's like, yeah, we just got to call the cops. I'm like, all right, call the cops. And I get back in my car. I'm like, we got to go. So I just take off.
He didn't get your license plate or nothing?
Man, let me tell you my story. So I just take off. I jump on the freeway. It's a nice little ride from where I'm at. It's probably like Space, one of them clubs, to the hotel I'm staying at. And I'm dragging the front end on the freeway loudly. The whole front end in front of the tires, the bumper is just making all kind of noise. Probably could have been sparking. I don't know. We going for it. You couldn't get in no more trouble. So I get all the way to South Beach. I'm hitting all the little back streets on alternate, just like not trying to go down the big, the wrong street. And they see me. It's like 5 cops in a gas station. And I see the lights come on, everything. So now I'm really dragging this bumper, really trying to get to the hotel. I'm getting close. I get to the hotel, park the car outside. Fuck valet, all that. I park outside. Go inside. They're on the car immediately. But I'm up in my room. I probably waited maybe like an hour, maybe like 30 minutes. I called the Miami Police Department. I said I had an accident with a taxi cab, and the guy jumped out cursing me out in Spanish, and I got really scared. It was dark, and I drove back to the hotel, and I called you guys immediately. So they came to my room. The dude's like, it was Sunday morning, and he's like, I give him my license, all this stuff, and he's looking at me. He's telling me this story about I'm from Oakland, and the story I just told him was the most BS he ever heard in his life. And he's like, I'm fresh showered, new clothes, and I'm ready for the world. He's like, man, every Sunday my grandmother cooks this amazing meal. And if I take you to jail right now, I'm going to miss that meal. He's like, it's your lucky day.
Wow.
He's like, but don't run your BS on me. And basically, it was just, the aftermath is a lot too, man.
Dealing with insurance and all of that?
Just the whole aftermath of everything. It's a lot. So I've, that's just one of many. Mm-hmm. I grew up in the town, and
Too short, crazy, man.
Yeah, it's like, I have long since chilled out. And even long before the incident on TMZ, I've long...
You've been chilled. Yeah, what about settling down? When are you going to chill out and do that?
Didn't we talk about this on the last show?
This is a different show.
Oh, man. I forgot what I said then. I say something different
You got to
every
say
time.
something, yeah. You got to be consistent with your story.
I'm all for it. I'm not against it.
You didn't say that on lip service.
I'm not against it.
You have somebody in mind?
I'm in the area of feeling my way through it. I'm really not out looking in clubs nightly for the next conquered, relation.
Gotcha.
What do you call those little episodes of the one night things?
Oh, no more one night stands for you.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying I'm not out looking.
Oh, you're not looking for it. If it happens, it happens.
Yeah, I'm not on the hunt anymore. I used to feel like life was like like loving was like a supermarket kind of sorta. And you could just go down to each aisle and find these different flavors.
Guys always say this. Why did they create so many different women if we're only meant to be with one and there's so many options out there?
Seems like you heard that a lot, yeah.
Well,
no, I hear you guys. Well, not you guys.
I think so. Okay,
but
people.
I've heard Charlamagne say
some
that.
people marry young and settle down young, and then later on it falls apart and they go wild.
You saying envy?
I don't know. I'm saying some
he
people
got married young.
I'm giving you scenarios. Some people marry young and stay there. Some people live wild young, marry later, and it's cool. Mm-hmm. I just happen to think that to myself, all while I was aging in my adult life, I was just like, live it. Just live it. Don't try to make anything happen. Just live it.
But you might also prevent yourself from letting things happen sometimes too, because you are so resistant to certain ideas.
Yeah, I'm admittedly scared of love. We've talked about this. I'm terrified of love.
Why?
Because of the career, the fun, the options, just the
But you
lifestyle
did it for
and stuff.
so long. You done did it since you were a teen.
And then on the other side, I'm getting rid of excuses. I like falling in love.
And then you want to keep on doing that over and over with different people.
Over and over again.
I love falling in love. Falling in love is fun.
Now you also have your podcast,
Mm-hmm.
and you had Ice Cube on the first podcast.
Yeah, we
What's
did
the
the
name of the podcast?
The podcast was called Too Short's Boombox. We did that for about a year, and now just recently I stopped doing it for a while, and then now I'm on Dash Radio now. So we just started. Our first show was last week on Dash Radio.
Oh,
And the show's called Blow the Whistle, and it's just a fun. You get to actually clown with Short. I haven't opened the phone lines up yet, but I'm going to, and it's just basically people I hold it outside of a nightclub, and people kind of walk by, and
it's outdoors.
it's indoors. Dash has a room sort of like this that sits right outside of a town restaurant and Avenue nightclub and beauty, right in. They
So
just
you
built the
catch
Dream
people
Hotel.
when they're leaving the club.
When they're going to the club,
Wow.
it's better.
Yeah, because when they leave, they're gonna be drunk, tall.
That might be funnier too.
So no, we just have fun. So when I open the phone line, it's just a matter of just people have things they want to do and say with Too Short. So we it's a variety of guests too. We're not sticking in any ethnic categories or age or profession. It's anything from porn stars to actors.
You've always been a crossover artist too.
People don't know that, but I have.
Yeah, because you go to a Too Short show and it's
So mixed.
all different types of people there.
And, you might catch one of my shows and it'd be like a whole Asian crowd or a whole Mexican crowd. Or
I
just,
remember I saw you somewhere. Where was I? It was like a ski resort somewhere in like Colorado. It was all white people.
and it could be a college students, whatever. I don't know how it got that way, but I just go with the flow. I like it.
Now you also, besides all of this, I saw you were at Snoop Dogg's play. Are you so? Being everything that we just spoke about, right? We talked about, Luke. We talked about Snoop. We talked about all those things. Are you doing something like The Life of Too Short?
Yeah, well, I've been in development stages with some folks who actually want to do a series that touches on the younger part of my life, like the come
Like
up,
a Everybody Hates Chris type of thing?
the come up. Yeah, just up until the point where it really, I really got famous. Because what that story is the background of that story is Oakland, California, in some crazy times. Like really, it was a very political and very active in many ways. People don't know that Oakland is very small. It's only population under 500,000, and being as that we had the Raiders, we had the Oakland A's winning World Series back when. The Warriors play in East Oakland, and the Hells Angels were founded in Oakland, as well as the Black Panthers. And if that's not the ultimate contrast, the Hells Angels and the Black Panthers are founded in the same city of 400,000 people, and these are national organizations that are historical, and it all exists in one city. You know what I'm saying? It's a small. Cities that small don't have 3 professional sports teams.
Right.
Cities that small don't have that kind of legacy. You don't have MC Hammer, Too Short, and then Vogue and Tony.
Oakland's
and then,
a special place.
It's just something in the ingredients. And the Bay is big. The Bay is E40 and Vallejo. The Bay is San Francisco. The Bay is Silicon Valley. It's a lot of stuff. And here, this little bitty town just does all this big stuff in the world. So I'm proud to be from there. Wasn't born there, but I got the game from there. And I'm just that just, to me, that says what this is all about.
San Francisco's the most expensive place to live too in the United States.
.com. The money's there, so they really Oakland is going through the same thing right now. Been going through it for a while. The .com money is so big, there's so much of it that they just bought San Francisco. They just took it. They literally just take neighborhoods.
Did you get into tech since you were from the Bay Area?
I dabble. I do dabble, and we do have ventures on the table right now, things you can't avoid it. And they took Oakland. They're taking Oakland. Oakland's nice now. It's really nice. Parts of Oakland you really wouldn't recognize from the old days. But gentrification is going on everywhere. And I hear people out here, they keep saying Brooklyn, they got mixed emotions.
Yeah.
But I also feel it's the opposite of white flight. They left the city and went to the suburbs and gas prices went up, and now they're coming back. So,
What's going to happen in these early stages of Too Short's life? Like, what will we see in this that made you the person that you are today?
What happened in my early life?
Yeah, since we're talking about this series that you might be working on, like, what are some of the things that we'll see?
Well, just navigating through a tough city. Like Oakland's one of those cities where it's like being from a tough side of town or something, and you can't really escape the realities of your surroundings because everybody knows everybody, and there's nothing you could do. You can't pretend. You can't be fake. Everything you do, you have to live up to. So I just feel like I could have been somewhere else in the world during my young life, and I wouldn't be the person I am now. Like where you're at, it evolves you into what you are, and I love the fact that I got it from there because I could have gained some sort of success, and then took the egotistical route of having the big head and kind of just kind of like feeling myself too much. But when you're from a town like that, you're not allowed to do that. You know what I'm saying? To this day, bump into even when he was like the Hammer, like Hammer was down to earth. Like we really come
Hammer
from
definitely down to earth and will beat your ass in a minute.
Yeah, I'm saying like he's from around the way
He
where
almost beat Envy's ass one time.
He did.
I think I heard you tell the story.
He definitely did.
But the town, man. But
I see you encouraging people to vote now too.
Well, I do positive things because it's what I believe in, But it doesn't necessarily go with my image, but at the same time, I don't let the image of Too Short like define my personal life. Mm-hmm. My Too Short is definitely a character that I created.
Right. Definitely.
And people want me to walk out of my house and
be Too Short
and slap the first bitch I see and be like, give me my money. But I got that from being a smart businessman. I got it from making moves, from hustling and not just making these records, but actually having the other side of the game where you know how to get your records made, get them sold, go pick up the check. Like I taught a lot of people how to do that. Mm-hmm. A lot.
So you pimped the game, really. So you are the ultimate pimp.
I used to hang around with a lot of drug dealers, and I just applied how they sold drugs to how I sold music.
Records, right.
And I looked at every batch of tapes or records or CDs as another, bundle of kilos, and you got to get the product, you got to flip it, mm-hmm. and you got to hold on to the re-up money. You got to get some more product and keep flipping it. So every batch had to be a profit, and, you always had to have the money to stay in the game. So I bought a studio early on. I felt like, why would I go spend studio time and spend money on studio time?
I'm not gonna have my own studio.
Yeah, and early on we just figured it out. We spent some money on. We made 2 albums in somebody else's studio. We like, that's enough money to buy the equipment. Like, let's just next time buy the equipment. So I've always been not just doing it, but I tell the next people who get in the game, I'm like, dude, this is what's gonna happen.
It's so much easier now, man. You get a laptop and a mic, and you got a studio equipment now.
Yeah, but you still, when it comes to the chasing of the big money, you still have obstacles in your way where, slick talking people and big label people are trying to lure you in. You got the momentum, you hot, and we don't know what they're going to do with you when they get you sometimes. Right. Sometimes you could become a super mega star. Other times you like talented and you got executives telling you how much they love you, and next thing you know, 2 years later, you ain't got a record out and everybody's going, what happened, bro? What happened?
Right.
A last thing, I saw you post a picture with Mike Epps. Are y'all working on something together?
We did a song called Me and Your Mama, and it's coming out on my next project.
Me and Your Mama?
Like at the grocery store, it's just me and your mama. At your court hearing, it's just me and your mama. At Six Flags, it's just me and your mama. You can't come. It's a song to like an older kid, an older like 21-year-old dude who still live with his mama. And then here I come over there, this nigga on the couch smoking weed. He looking at me, I'm looking at him. I'm going straight to her room. I'm like, bruh.
Hurts.
I knock on the door, and he answered the door. Who is it? I'm like, nigga, your mama left her kids, just me and your mama. Open the door. And he got a problem with it, but I'm like, bruh, this is a reality. I'm too short.
Your mama.
Yeah, I'm too short. That's your mama, and we dating. So, it's a true story, though. It's based on a true story.
Oh, damn. All right. Well, he's going to be
based on multiple true stories. What are you talking about?
You did it, Mad Baby Mamas.
Yeah, the homie was at a video shoot one day, and he asked me if I knew a chick of a certain name, and he described her. I was like, oh, yeah, that used to be my thing, bro. He was like, that's my mama.
Ah, shit.
And his homie was like, nigga, Too Short, fight your But hey,
It
we're
happens.
in that.
And then
It
what did you
happens.
respond with? You responded with, nah, I ain't fucking.
I just was like,
said,
you know,
yeah.
I was like, bro, you shouldn't have said that in front of everybody. But
Yeah,
still,
why did he ask you in front of
You
everybody?
could be my son, man.
yeah, but still, you know, I play stepdaddy a lot,
Mm-hmm.
where you know, in a proud way, you know,
Ready to have your own.
and at the same time, I've been around a lot of baby mamas, so
It's just real talk.
it's just reality. Yeah, there we
Yeah.
go, there we go.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Woo.
Pick up the album.
the Pimp tape.
No.
Check out
November
the
9th?
podcast.
Pimp tape, November 9th.
Okay.
All right. Well, it's The Breakfast Club. It's Too Short.